Good morning and welcome to the video for Friday, March the 12th and Monday, March the 15th. So we're doing our virtual learning for the next 2 school days. I'm combining both things into the same video and posting it as one assignment on Google Classroom to make it a little bit easier. And so assuming that the pages came home in the same order as I gave them out, our first front and back will be for Friday, and that would be this side here and the side working with money. So we will be reviewing what we've worked on with comparing fractions. So if we have the same numerator, then we need to look at the denominator to figure out which size piece is larger. And so this part ends up being a little bit tricky for some people. The larger the number is, the more pieces we've divided the whole up into, and that means the smaller each individual piece is. And so if we're only counting one piece, then we end up in a situation where that smaller piece is going to mean that the answer would be that side is smaller. So use that to help you. That's going to apply for some of them. A few of these we're going to have to work a little bit harder. So for instance, we may need to make a picture. And so let's try to do that out here to the side. So I'm going to look at this one here. And I'm going to make a rectangle and pretend that it is my fraction strip. I'm going to try to make a similar sized one. And now I'm going to take the bottom one, cut it in half, and cut each half in half to make fourths. And then I'm going to cut this one in half and attempt to divide it into thirds, which I can do somewhat reasonably well. Some of the other ones are a little bit more tricky. So if I'm counting the first 4 parts of this versus 3 parts of this, you can use that to kind of help you. So I am going to shade in this amount here. And I'm going to shade in this amount here. And so assuming that I lined up everything pretty well, that should give us an idea of which side would be larger. And of course, for this particular page, we want to circle which fraction is larger. So use that to help you. If we end up with things where, let's say, this number is twice as large as this number, again, the smaller denominator, we're counting more pieces here, and each piece is bigger. Use that kind of thing to help you. All right. Once you get done, if you have the correct answers, then you'll be good to go. Take the letter that goes with each fraction for the answers. I believe whichever ones you pick are going to have to do with which ones you write in down here. But we should have a fun little joke down at the bottom. All right, going on to the next one. We want to figure out what coins we need to buy the pack of gum, which is going to be 86 cents. Remember, our quarters are worth 25, dimes are worth 10, nickels are worth 5, and pennies are worth 1. So we're going to do that for 4 different items using only those 4 types of coins. On Monday, we are going to be working with equivalent fractions, which is something we're going to be working on next week. So you will see 2 different pictures. So for instance, we have this circle that is divided into 2 different halves. We're shading one of those in. This one is divided into eighths, like we would normally do with a pizza. And so we have 4 parts shaded in. Both have the same amount shaded in. We're just working with a different number of parts that we've divided it into. So taking that and the other example we have here, we want to look and see if we have 1/2 here, how many fourths do we have shaded in so that we can practice. This one should be fairly easy until we get down here. Once we get down here, we're going to put the fraction that we have first and then the fraction that we have second. Make sure we count all of the parts for our denominator and only the parts that are shaded in for the numerator to make sure that we get that. We do have a bonus question down here to see if both of these things are the same. You can actually use some of the other pictures to help you figure that out. Actually, you can use this one, I think. Oh, that one's a little bit strange. Yeah, you can use this one to help you for part of that, and then you can use the 1/2 to fourths to figure out why that works. All right, on Monday, we are going to also be doing time, and so we want to circle the correct time. We are only going to work with hours, half hours, and quarter hours. So the shorthand points to what the hour would be. So for instance, this one is between 1 and 2. So our only two answers that might make sense would be these two. And then we look at the minute hand. We're at the top of the hour. It would be 0 minutes. If we're on the 3, we would be 15, 30, and 45. And so that concludes everything I would like to go over for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to send a message in Google Classroom. Hope the video is helpful for you all. I don't know if you guys will need quite as much help as a few of the other grades, which have significantly more difficult problems, but I hope you enjoy your time. If you get done early and you want to enjoy the break, feel free to do that. I will always be happy to give extra credit points if anybody wants to play Prodigy. Have a good weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday.